the wind there, Dave. Like he's really fatigued, and yet it was Lawerence that did most of the hustling in the last round. There's Lawerence.
Okay.
He's bleeding bad too on his right eye.
Sorry, that guy's so goddamn tired. He's leaning on you.
Keep jabbing. Okay?
He's leaning
Use
on
your
you.
jab.
Pull me up.
You're tired?
No, pull me up.
Okay. You're tired?
Not yet. I'm the belly.
No, just keep jabbing.
Yeah.
Use that eye. Keep jabbing and move. You don't have
how am I looking at?
You're doing good, but you're going to make it easy for him. You're going to go through him. You know what I'm saying? You go right in, let him hit.
All right, you heard the instructions. Here we go, round number 6 from Atlantic City. The heavyweights, Paolo Vidoz, the Italian champion in the white trunks, kind of took the 5th round off, which was good for Lawerence fans because Lawerence hadn't won a round since the second, at least on our scorecards. And those are close. All the rounds have been fairly close. And now he's doing exactly what his corner said, Dave. Jab, 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 and avoid. This is where he should fight the fight, by the way. Out here, get his angles. No sense of going inside right now.
8 rounds is a very short fight to decide to take a round off because he just doesn't have as much time to recover. But for Vidoz, who was breathing heavily in the last round, he hopes to recoup that and more in the last half of the fight. Now for Lawerence, this could be his biggest win, and you can just sense a little bit more confidence come over him between rounds.
And meanwhile, Vidoz has got to turn it up a notch. As I said in the last round, he let that round slip away from him, but he is fatigued. You can tell that by how sloppy he's walking, even when he walks backwards, but he's planted the feet. He's still getting hit more than he wants to be by Zuri Lawerence. Lawerence right in front of him, trying to get the angle now, slips that punch, touches him up with a jab, but he should be throwing now, Dave. There it is, he digs to the body. That's all right because he's still busier than Zuri, rather than Paolo Vidoz is. Vidoz shows a little trickle from that right eye again, bangs him inside with the right hand.
If nobody's throwing that much in terms of power, the pity-pat punches will win the fight.
That's right. Vidoz trying to load up to the body, and you know, it's about this time we talked about the fatigue factor for Zuri Lawerence. And you know, back in the 4th round, in between the 4th and 5th, he looked really fatigued to me, but he's getting sort of a second wind now. So the body shots that Vidoz was landing on lesser opponents took a much heavier toll than they are against Zuri Lawerence.
He got Lawerence in trouble in terms of stamina after round 4, but you know, you win a round against a guy, and now you're in the second half of the fight. That can also help you psychologically. You're getting your second win back. You start to think, hey, I can see the end of this fight. I worked with Kirk Johnson. He's not this guy. And all these things can come into Lawerence's head. However, he's still not moving much.
With 40 seconds to go, this round is still up for grabs, too, by the way. Vidoz is having a much better 6th round than he had in the 5th, but I don't know if it's enough to win this round because the busier of the two has been Lawerence. Lawerence zips out of there, comes in with his hands down. Boy, it's dangerous. If Vidoz could go with a couple of left jabs and throw the big right cross, he could drop this guy.
Something to think about over the last 2 rounds. If it's as close as it looks, the pressure is on Lawerence. He's against the undefeated guy. A draw doesn't really no good. He's already got 7 losses. He has to go for everything.
Boy, how do you score that round, Dave? That's very
It was close. I seem to lean toward Vidoz in terms of on the inside, but it wouldn't be surprising to see later that it was a split round in terms of the judges.
You know, I know the judges don't give too many even rounds, but to me, I can't make up my mind on that one. I just didn't see an edge. So I've got Lawerence out in front by 1 point still in a very close fight with 2 rounds to go.
Now he's cut Vidoz around both eyes.
Right there.
Now you got to stick that jab in his face.
Okay.
You got to keep moving.
Well, Vidoz got some attention he didn't want here off the break. Little tweak shot, and he's warned by Johnson, no more. Fortunately, it wasn't a hard shot.
All right, we're coming up to round number 7 here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Mark G. Edis Arena here, and a beautiful place to watch a fight. We're in the 7th round now. Zuri Lawerence decked out in his red and black. I have him very slightly out in front in this fight. Vidoz, the Italian champion. in the white trunks, undefeated, by the way, comes with a heavy uppercut that time. And his corner has told him he's got to pick up the pace, and I agree with him. They can't let another round slide away, and as he tries to pick it up, Lawerence with his light shots, but nonetheless landing to the sides of the head of Paolo Vidoz. Again, round 7 action.
Look at Vidoz backing up here. This is now his stretch out time. He hasn't been past 6, so these are the 2 rounds to stretch him out, and the first one of those 2 is always the hardest one. You can get yourself through the last one with adrenaline, but this is the one where you have to get a sense of pacing, and you haven't been there before.
Well, he doesn't do much work upstairs at all, does he? He's thrown a few that have sailed over the shoulder and over the head. He loves to work the body. He's caught his last couple of opponents with vicious uppercuts to take them out. But this guy, as we said, coming into the fight, Lawerence, much more slick. And they knew it was a step up in class, and it has been.
And they figured at some point he has to answer the question, you know, can he dig out a victory? If the fight is close down the stretch, can he get in there and take 2 rounds when he needs to? Because at some point in his career, he'll have to do it. And this is a good fight to take a chance with because the other guy is not a big banger.
Well, Lawerence, at 32 years of age, wants to get it done in a hurry. His career goes back to the early 90s when he had over 40 amateur fights, won the National Police Athletic League boxing tournament back in 91. And his pro career is just so-so with that 17-7 record with 3 draws. So a victory here would be big for him, really big for him.
Yeah, it would be pretty much a chance to start his career all over at a higher level. And that's what one fight can do for you sometimes in the boxing business.
Well, since the last time I saw Lawerence fight, the work that he several rounds that he had in preparing Kirk Johnson for the heavyweight WBA championship fight is really showing. He's much busier here. He's much fresher than is Vidoz. Vidoz hasn't stepped up and been able to handle beyond 6.
If you show up at the training camp and really put in your work, that is not something that can be understated. You got Kirk Johnson, you've got a guy pretty much at a high level. You're in there fighting, he's telling you you're doing well, you're talking with him every night perhaps. It just works on your whole sense of yourself. And he's fighting here with a second win and a lot of confidence, like he wants this fight now.
Yeah, well, there's a digging body shot that time by Vidoz, but look at the condition that Zuri Lawerence is in. Closing seconds. Lawerence has out-hustled him in this round for sure.
It's his.
However they scored that 6th round, the 7th round is definitely Lawerence's. And now I've got a 2-point fight for Lawerence, so if I'm scoring, you know, we're within 1 or 2 points one way or the other. It's a very close fight anyway. But if our scoring is actually in line with the judges, you need at least a knockdown for Vidoz to win this fight.
Yeah, just to get a draw perhaps. Now, Vidoz, as we said, he's stretching out. First time into round 7, and Lawerence able to out-hustle him throughout much of the round. Nice 2-punch combination up top there that he continues to go to work, and he is still doing it the hard way. He's not doing it on the angles. And you see the little backhand attempt by Vidoz. Looked a little bit disoriented in terms of his technique.
You're looking into the corner of Lawerence, but in the corner of Vidoz is a sense of real urgency right now with this guy. They know that he's either slightly behind or the fight is closer than they want it to be going to the 8th round, let's put it that way.
And in Lawrence's corner, the sense that it's my fight to lose.
That's exactly right. We're in the 8th and final round now at the Trump Taj Mahal. Zuri Lawerence in the black and red trunks, who's been doing a lot of weight training and trying to pick up his power shots, really trying to hustle here. And now you see the sense of urgency with Paolo Vidoz. The problem is Lawerence is hustling so much that Vidoz, even when he wants to pick up the pace, he can't do anything. And this is especially what we said in the first couple of rounds. Why did Lawerence want to crowd him early? Well, whatever it is, it's worked.
Well, I think he just got away with it, is pretty much how this has worked out. It wasn't in his best interest, but Vidoz took off round 5, took off portions of round 7, and for him, the stretch from 6 to 8 rounds has not been an easy one. And they say you do it in the gym, but you still have to go out there in the ring and prove it, and he's held back at times here to make sure he gets the 8.
Well, he better not hold back anymore because it's rug cutting time right now. A minute's already gone here, and he needs to drop this guy if he's going to win this fight, in my opinion. Sometimes the judges, you know, Dave, they don't give the credit that we do for guys that are working as hard as I think Lawerence is working this month.
Another problem if you're a guy that's got 7 losses and the other guy is undefeated, you have to fight like you're a round down when you start the fight. Just in terms of perception, it may cost you 1 round somewhere.
Oh, Vidoz obviously trying to land some heavy blows here, but every time he does, Lawerence answers the call, working very, very hard. He looks in better condition. Look at him. Coming up to the 1 minute mark remaining, and Lawerence was able to finish round 7 very strong the last 30 seconds of the 7th round and steal that round. Look at him here with the hand speed.
And Vidoz hanging on.
Vidoz looks like a beaten fighter to me right now.
Well,
look at this.
Getting hit with 3 shots. He's tired.
Yeah, he just really doesn't seem to have the power that he's been known for.